guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at a Matchbox. I believe it is a K7 king size refuse truck. And this one it's really decent actually. It's in good nick. It's got a few little marks here and there. But say it's already drilled the bottom off, so let's get on with it. So we open it up. Obviously the base comes off. There's going to be a few little rods that need to be taken out. It's held on the back here and by this little bracket across the centre. So I'm going to have to drill that out and then pull it through. Take out the interior and what have you. Tap out the glass, see if it comes out. Yeah, it's not fixed in with anything to come out. It's in pretty good nick as well. Pretty decent. Bit of scum on there. But we'll wash that off. It's not a problem. So we just move them to one side out the way. Right, let's see how this comes up. Yeah, I think it's just that pin at the back that's holding it on. There's like a little rubber grommet underneath with a pin that runs through for the elevation of the back. So that just should slide out easy enough, the little grommet. Just double checking how it goes back together. Yeah, so that'll just fall off when we take the back off. Excuse me. Just a little rubber grommet in there, not to lose that. So we just get the rotary tool out and we'll just take the head off this little axle rod. I'm just using a very, very fine diamond tip bit just to take off the edge, because there's not much play in this, let's be honest. I don't want to take too much off it, otherwise it won't be able to be peened back over and we'll be running into problems then. So just gently taking it off. Just a tiny bit more. That should do it. And there we go, we just pop out the axle. And this should just all fall apart now, yep, nice and easy. Off with the brackets off. And there we have it. Well, I'm not going to separate the back unit because it's a bit... To be honest, there's no need for it because the parts are not touching, so when I paint it, it'll be fine. I said the cabs is simple enough to do as well. A little bit of detail on the front. A couple of scuffs here and there, so we're going to strip the paint off. And we'll go from there, we'll see what it's like there. Let's have a look at the base. Yeah, it's not too bad actually. I'll get them wheels off. I'll pop the tyres off. They can have a good wash. I don't like these plastic tyres, they're awful, you know. I'd rather have the rubber ones on them, but hey ho, is what it is. So we'll get them off, do the base plate and then peen them back on. So next time I see it, it'll be in the caustic. So here we go. Start off with boiling water as per normal. Make sure you wear your PPE, guys. Face mask, gloves, ventilated area, all the usual. This stuff can be dangerous if you don't treat it with the respect that it deserves. So if you're going to use it, be careful, please. Thank you. Anyway, let's get on with it. So we pop in the boiling water. Stick in our little measurement of caustic and the magic happens. I love this part, it's great. So satisfying. Sad, I know, but very frothy today, this one. Jeez. You can see it there fizzing away, doing its thing. It's a good sign. Just make sure the top of the cab's getting a bit of coverage on the back as well. Oh, look at that. The paint's off that already, look. Bloody hell, that didn't take long. It's just falling off. Yeah, nice job. Not even needing any scrubbing at all, it's just falling off. That's just the residue from the decals that you can see floating there. Make sure all that gunk's off. Let's try what the cab's going to be like now. Yeah, it's coming off. It's working. It's doing its thing. Probably need a few minutes longer just to make sure it's coming off. But you can see the colour of the water. It's we're winning. It's quite thick, this paint on the cab, to be honest. It's like an enamel. So it usually takes a little bit longer, but this seems to be doing okay, actually. So we'll just leave it in there for a little while, just to sit in there and do its thing. Yeah, it's coming off nicely. So, I'll see you back on the bench. And here we are, at the caustic now. We got really good results. It's come off perfect. So we're just going to use a little bit of Scotch-Brite on this in a while and clean it all up. There's the little bracket. Here's the Scotch-Brite now. So we're going to use 1000 grit and 600 grit. I managed to find this stuff. I finally found it. After months and months and months of finding it. And I actually got it off eBay. So if you guys need to purchase this, it's not that bad, actually. You see, a little bit of work, but it works out brilliant. So I'd say you can get it on eBay, and I paid about, I think it was £6, free postage, and you get like 2 fairly decent sized pieces. Like, I've cut these down, obviously, and I'd say in paper form size, it would be probably around an A6 size. So it's about the same size as a decent Jiffy envelope, you know, around that size. More or less the same size as that cloth you can see underneath. So we just got to work around this just to get all of the oxidization off. It doesn't need any lines taken off it or filling or nothing, so it's pretty simple. So I'm just going to go over it with the 600, and then once we've got all the coverage of that, then I'll run over it with the 1000, and then that should be ready for spraying. Just get underneath here. Yeah, the advantages of using this stuff against sandpapers, is obviously this is going to be lasting a lot longer. You can actually use this stuff wet or dry, and it seems like it's going to last forever, to be fair. So I'm quite happy with it. I did have the little mop wheels for the Dremels, but eventually they do wear down and they can get a bit pricey, even though they are fantastic. And I still got another set, but this stuff just seems to be a lot easier for the bigger areas and the flat areas. So I'll just mix it up and use the both, you know. So just running it through with the 1000 now. I say this doesn't need to be mirror finished. But it's got a nice little finish on, as you can see. It comes up quite well. Does the job. Nice and smooth. Right, let's clean up the interior. So our trusty electric toothbrush, hope the wife isn't missing it. We just blame the kids. It's all good. While we're just cleaning through this interior, I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for subscribing. Today we've today we've reached 151 subscribers. So absolutely over the moon with your support, guys. It really does mean a lot to me. Thank you very much if you've subscribed and left comments and liked any videos in the past. I hope that you're enjoying the content and you stay for the future. And anyone else who's watching and hasn't subscribed, please, if you like what you see and you want to see more, then just quickly hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified of the next video. If you don't want to do it, you feel as if you don't want to, that's fine. I still enjoy your company and I'm glad you're watching the video. So, yeah, if you like what you see, click the button. If you don't, then don't. That's fine. So let's crack on anyway. Well, not literally, because we've got the glass. We don't want to be cracking now. Just give it a quick wash off and we'll check out the results there. But yeah, it's going to come up pretty fine. We stick that in the pledge. A nice little finish on that. There's a little bit of paint, on just a tiny bit here. But it's off. It's just a floater. Yep, we'll get the K2 lamp doctor on that, and then we'll dip it in the pledge. K2 lamp doctor, by the way, it's the equivalent for plastic what Auto Sol is for metal. It's just a polish that takes off any like milkiness or staining on plastics, and it's actually meant for headlights for cars, but it does a really good job on this stuff. So this is going to come up like brand new once it's on. And again, that's available on eBay or Amazon. It's fairly cheap. It's about between £4 and £7, depending on which size tube you get. Right, so we've primed it, and we're going to be using Vallejo Red. So I just based it in like a white primer. That's all, nothing special. I've just got a rattle can. So they've got filming that. But we're just gonna use a little tack coat just to get the first coverage over. Keep it nice and simple. But we'll get some really nice coverage with this. I've sorted my brush out now finally. It was all gunked up and little bits of glitter here and there that was clogging up from the previous restorations. I didn't get out properly. But now it's all fine. I stripped it right back and cleaned it out, and it's absolutely perfect now. So it's doing its job properly now, finally. So I started to spray it there around 20 to 24 psi, and that seems to be working out well. So I'm going to stick with that for now. See how we get on. And as you can see, we're getting some really nice coverage and it's going on nice. So if it's not broken, as they say, don't fix it. It's a bit ironic for a restoration video. I love this Vallejo red. Beautiful colour. Right, so here's the back. And I've got to thank Marty, Matchbox Makeovers, for this. He was kind enough to send me a few sets of decals that he had left over from his build. So thank you, Marty. Appreciated it. I did email him to thank him, but it was worthy of a shout out and a mention. So thank you very much for that, Marty. So these are Marty's homemade decals, and he's done a fantastic job making these. They're absolutely perfect. So we just pop the first one on the side now. Just put it to shape with the brush, a little bit of water, manoeuvre it about. And he actually sent me a different variation. Instead of like the gold and red, he sent me a set of red and white as well. So I'm going to keep them because I've got another one. So the next one I'll do a variation with the other decals. So just roll off the excess fluid with our Q-tip, cotton bud, whatever you want to call them. And then we do the same on the other side. So as you see, he's done a really good job. So thank you again, Martin, or Marty. I appreciate that, buddy. Cheers. So we just wet this side. Let's use our tweezers just to guide it into place. Don't get no kinks. There we go. Perfect job. Just wiping off any excess fluid. Awesome. Right, detail work. So again, I'm just going to use this fantastic little Sharpie silver. Come in a pack of 3, you get gold, silver and bronze. And they work out about £5 again. Amazon or eBay, very easy to get hold of. And they are fantastic for this type of work. So I'm just going to highlight the lights, the front grille, the bumpers and what have you, the usuals. So I'm not going to chat over this. I'm just going to let you sit back and watch it. So it's self-explanatory what I'm doing. So I'll catch you in a few minutes. So you see guys, turned out pretty well. So we get on to doing the rest now. So what I'm going to do with the tyres, I'm just going to use this shoe polish. Once they've all been washed, obviously, you just get this shoe polish and give it a little dab, a soaking of it. It gives us some really nice coverage, and they come up like new once it's all done, to be fair. It's just a case of just splashing it on, letting it soak in, and then buff it up, and that's it, job done. So I'm just going to cover one side, flip them over, and do the other side. So just get me tweezers just to prevent it going all over my hands. Oops. Over you go. Fiddly little buggers, aren't they? Here we go. So now they're all turned over now, get this side covered. A little splodge of polish. And you can see the gloss that they've got now. They actually, once they're dry, they maintain that gloss. So say it does a cracking little job. So we just let them dry now, and then we give them a quick polish up, and they're ready to go back. Just keep them separate so they don't stick together. Other than that, job's a good one. So let's put it all back together. So here we are, putting in the interior before the window. Clever. So window units in, now the interior can go back. I'll notice on this model as well, it's got like rear doors on the cab, and yet the interior is only one front seat, which is a bit strange. So I don't know where the guys at the back are meant to sit. So he's put in the bracket and the base plate. I've put a matte finish on the base plate. I didn't record the footage of that, but as you can see, it's just the basic matte coat and repeating the axles back in with the wheels. So that came up really well. I was quite pleased with that as well. So I tapped out the little post at the back, so we're just going to pop an M2 screw in, or M3 rather, should I say, sorry. So far so good. I've also put in the little grommet here, you can see the little plastic. And I actually made a mistake here. So I left this little bit of footage in just to show you I do make mistakes, you know, we're all human. And you can see my frustrations develop in a second. So I've pushed in the shaft into the grommet, and I'm just trying to figure out now how this goes on to the bucket. And I was thinking it wasn't this hard when I done a dry run before. For the life of me could not figure out what I'd done wrong. And basically what I've done is I've put the bracket on the axle on the base of the truck before putting it onto the bin. And what you need to do is put the bracket that I'm trying to fix on there on the big bin, and then slide it all on with 16 hands. See, I'm trying to, and it's just not working. I'm thinking it'll just slide out and clip in, but it doesn't, because that crossbar prevents it from happening. So a few more seconds of like torture and myself, and then the penny dropped. God, it's painful to watch, I know. My thought was there is that'll just lift over and it'll be in. But such a snug fit, I didn't want to prise anything. I'm thinking, it's not right. Something's not right. Come on, George, work it out. Work it out, lad. Now the penny's dropped. So we just quickly take off the base plate again. Good job I did get the screw in and didn't put a rivet in with glue. That would have been a bit of a pain. So the proper way of doing it is you put that on first. It goes on so much easier now when you do it the right way. He says as it falls off. So it just snugly sits in there and balances, and the top of the bin comes over and keeps it in place. And you slide it on. And with your fourth hand that you're meant to have, you hold the base on as it goes into the grommet. You just see that it's just extending down there. He's going to squeeze that into the grommet. Once that's in place, that's perfect. So now that's all snug and held in place. And we put the base plate on. Again. And attach the screw. A few of you eagle-eyed people will have realised what else I've done wrong. Just in front of me, where I'm screwing now, there's another axle that holds the rear of the bin onto the chassis. I didn't actually put that in, I forgot. But by the time I'd finished the whole renovation and what have you, I did see I hadn't put it on, so I did attach that, and on the final cuts and the reveal, you can see that that's in. And that's what's giving it the jerky movements, why it's not being so smooth now when I'm testing it. It's because the back pin wasn't keeping it in one place as it should. But as I say, it's all good, it all went in. So this is what we started off with, guys. And this is how he turned out. And I think it turned out absolutely gorgeous, and I'm really pleased. Again, thank you very much, Marty, for the decals. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. If you did, please press the subscribe button, like and comment. I do reply to all of you. And I shall see you in the very, very near future in the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys. Stay safe. Bye-bye for now.